Nelia is a white woman with straight brown hair. Behind her is a gray wall with a tall plant and a plaque with inspirational sayings. Think deeply, speak gently, love much, laugh a lot, work hard, give freely, and be kind. On the left-hand side is a window with a gray curtain.
When my daughter was young, I spent hundreds of hours sitting in waiting rooms while she did occupational therapy and a bunch of other therapies too. And it was from those occupational therapists that I got a crash course in how our sensory system works, to the point where people would ask me if I was an occupational therapist. Really, what I learned changed how I see the world. I started to understand just how important our sensory system is and how our brain processes, light, sound, touch, all this input, and how all of that helps us to create new pathways in the brain. So, sensory input isn't just background noise, it's how we engage with the world. It's how we learn, how we connect, and how we remember things. So that's why when we're designing events, we have to think about all of these senses: sight, sound, smell, texture, taste. But here's the thing, it's a balance, because too much sensory input can lead to overload. And when someone's system gets overloaded, it's like their brain hits an emergency brake and they shift into fight or flight. And it becomes really hard, sometimes impossible really, to focus, to participate, or to stay present. So as event creators, it's not just about offering sensory experiences, which is really important too. It's about making sure there's space to step away from them as well. Because once someone's sensory system is regulated, they can return and truly engage and learn and connect. So I'm going to share a few simple ways you can build these sensory options into your next event. Okay, so you want to make your event more sensory friendly. Where do you start? Don't worry, I got you. I'll give you some tips. So here are some simple, thoughtful ways to create events that feel better for everyone, especially those who are sensitive to sensory input. So first up is to know your audience. So everyone benefits from sensory-friendly design, but some events naturally attract attendees who have more specific needs. And so, as with any time during an event, you're planning an event, start with knowing your audience so you can create intentional choices that support them. So the next is to rethink networking. So networking events often mean bars, music, alcohol. That doesn't work for everyone. So can you offer smaller, quieter spaces for connection, a coffee corner, things like that? Now, I'm not suggesting to get rid of all of the parties, but kind of offer some other options as well. So seating, offer flexible seating. Some people don't learn by being in the front, or they need movement in order to learn. So offer, high boys in the back so they could stand. Offer some soft seating. Quiet rooms are a must, but if your quiet room looks like a boardroom with the fluorescent lights and a folding chair, it's not really a sensory break. So think soft lighting, cozy furniture, maybe some calming textures. Okay. Nature is your friend. So bring the outdoors in, especially in these spaces with plants or natural materials. Or better yet, use the outdoors. If you have access to outdoor space, use it for seating or for breaks. Sunlight and fresh air can regulate the system. Be mindful of the space and how much you put in it. So cramped, crowded layouts cause stress. So try to design wide aisles, give people some breathing room, right? Communicate. You've put in the effort. Now make sure attendees know it's available. Send this information out in pre-event emails, print it out on maps. Have staff who are trained to answer questions about any of these supports. So it's only useful if people know it's there. And then finally, at least for today, build in spots for on-site recharge. So this doesn't necessarily mean a separate room. It isn't a separate room. It's maybe a low stimulation corner of your expo hall, some soft chairs away from the action. People will leave if they need a break and your event can't provide that. So keep them there with these options. So these are small, but when you put them all together, you create an environment where more people feel comfortable, like they can connect and they can belong, which is the point of events anyways, right? So if you're working on a specific event and you need support thinking through accessibility or sensory friendly design, reach out. I'd love to help.